Alright, here we go with the Vamp Coast versus the oh wait, these aren't stinky elves, but they are elves nonetheless. Wood Elves and Vamp Coast. Adler versus Navi, or Navigator as they call him. Or her, or it, I'm not sure who Navi is, but anyways, I know Navigator, I think, is mainly a Chorfs main. This was a top 5 ban tournament, and Chorfs were definitely in the top 5 on the leaderboard, so we had to ban them, along with those nasty Ogre, Slanesh, Vamp counts, and yeah, I think I already said Dwarfs, right? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Norska. I forgot Norska. Norska. Just gross this Norska. Both builds, very standard, I think. The only thing I believe is not standard is actually Navi's. There's no Waystalkers to do Waystalker things like shutting down mortars. And the beauty of the mortars, the triple mortars, and I really like this from Adler, they're sitting there in the woods, so even if you had Waystalkers ready to shoot, they'd be hitting trees most of the time if they try putting shots in, which is really nice. So it's awkward as hell for Adler, and it's really forcing him to kind of come through. The Wood Elves thought the wolves were their ally. No, the wolves were never your ally. They're your enemy. Night Terror's trying to flee, flee from all those shots. I don't know how they got seen so quickly. But Navi is putting shots into him, just forcing the pirates and the zombies back. But the mortars, the triple mortars, just taking away these Clay Guard. Down to half already. Jeez. Another one already down to half. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's bad for Navi. Navi's a solid player. I played Navigator once or twice, and just absolutely obliterated me. And Adler, though, I don't think I played against Adler. No, I have played against Adler, but it was after these games. Adler's pretty good, too. Bit of a slip up from Adler, though. The Glade, Lord, and the Wild Riders have gone to the back line. And as you can see, Adler has 500. He could send Scurvy Dogs, and that's about it. No, he summons in bats, which is, I think, the worst call you could do to try to save these mortars, because they're doing work. These mortars give them absolute board control. And the Wild Riders just go in here unchecked, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe you could have left one unit of deckhand mobs in the woods. That, I think, would have been fine, absolutely. Maybe have one animated Hulk just to push their weight through the goofy Wild Riders. I don't know. It just seems unnecessary. Unnecessary losses here. But still, I think the mortars really put Navigator in a world of hurt and forced his hand. It's not the end of the world. I mean, he put down one mortar team. It's not the worst. The dogs are also getting absolutely destroyed. No surprise there. Wild Riders are just beasts. Glass cannons, but really, really bent on the cannon part. Oh, man. Here come the Death Guard, the absolute bane of the Wood Elves right now. I believe he took care of the Starfire shafts, so these Death Guard are pretty much going to go uncontested. Yeah, you can charge into them, but and I think Navi is making a bit of a mistake, trying to get us around, because normally what you want to do is surround a unit so you can break their leadership and start having them rout or tear, just rout. Unfortunately, the undead don't do that. They're basically unbreakable. Yes, they disintegrate, but they disintegrate so slow until you hit negative 50 leadership, then they'll start just, going away. Problem is getting there, because most of the time there's like 20 billion zombies surrounding them, increasing their leadership so they don't have to deal with that. Plus they heal, and on top of that, they heal themselves, some of them, like the Depth Guard, and then you have healing spells and summons and all that grossness. Yeah, the undead are just annoying to deal with. Ooh, Scurvy Dogs not getting the charge off. Blade Raiders just mulching them. Depth Guard gonna try to help them out right now. And yeah, so far it's a nasty triple cap going on top of Adler. Navi got it early. Luckily he got all 3 points early. That kind of saved him. And yeah, now it's just buying time. Shooting from out of the woods with those units. And yeah, I'm surprised Navi brought a caster of Shadow. Usually if you do Shadow, you do Melanchols. Pendulum isn't bad. Great for getting rid of those lines. The problem is, yeah, it's... I don't know. I feel like Blade Wind would have been better. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, you don't have access to Burning Head. Maybe Earth... Yeah, I think Floor of Life would have been a little bit better. Just try to keep up with the healing, keep your units alive. And just spam out Earth Blood and Awakening in the Wood. I feel like that would have been fine, too. If not better. Because Pendulum is what? 11... 13 Winds of Magic? Earth Blood, combination with Awakening? Probably around the same, I want to say. Maybe 11 Winds of Magic? 12? And you get a nice army-wide heal. You can stay alive a little bit longer, like the bombs on the bats. Yeah, that's really gonna be a bane for... Yeah, it's so bad. So bad. It kind of makes me think the Hawk Riders would be a good answer here. The problem is the Hawk Riders just suck, and they should. The last thing I want to deal with is 110 speed Hawk Riders that can kite well. Oh man, it would be so obnoxious to deal with. As if Wood Elves aren't more obnoxious to deal with. I'm glad I don't play them as much anymore. They're so annoying! Oh, they're so annoying. But I always have to have that on my belt. The Death Guard in the woods are just cleaning. There's nothing stopping them. Even Eternal Guard are just gonna have a hard time dealing with them. Yeah, I don't know. There's no real good answer to dealing with the Depth Guard with pole arms on the Wood Elf roster, besides Starfire Shafts, and they just aren't here. So my guess would be Navi would have to just relocate, maybe play the side objectives with a more mobile force, reform ranks on one side, and then just own the middle down the line horizontally. So that way he doesn't have to take shots at the Depth Guard in the woods or into the woods. That's how I would run it. I mean, he's got time, the points are even, the value's even. He could easily just reform ranks on the side and just reinforce, just move out. So that way he has enough shooting force to stop the bats from jumping on him and just peel him off that way. But he's just trying to take fights, and I think that's a bit of a blunder there. Maybe just unsummon some of these units and then just throw them on the side where all the arrows are. That's the thing with Wood Elves. Once you, or I think a lot of shooting factions, once you compromise their whole board, they just scramble about and have to reform. It's really hard to deal with. I thought shooting was going to be the... Well, I say shooting isn't that strong, but I think Norska Ogres... The only one in the top that isn't shooting is Vampire Counts. And just, yeah. The thing is, a lot of those top 5 factions also are just great at everything. They can shoot, they can play rush, they have insanely good cav for the most part. Yeah. The only one who stands out that doesn't do that is Vampire Counts, but they are just so cheap. It's so hard to do them. Especially if you don't have Lore Fire. Oh man. If you don't have Lore Fire, you're kinda screwed. But at the same time, even with like the triple Blood Knights and like the Dragon Spam and how cheap zombies are, you can still have a sizable force with super elite units or SEs. Man. Alright, enough of this daydreaming and these rantings. Back to the game. Looks like Adler is just... Yeah, just stuffing. He's doing nothing but a stuffing strategy on the Wood Elves, and they're just having a hard time controlling the board and dealing with anything, really. I would like to see the Glade Lord maybe assassinate that Vampire Count's Lord. That would be a nice pickup there. Really start dragging out a lot of these units that are staggering around, these zombies. And I think, yeah, he's going to go for it. I think that's an absolute right call. Maybe get a net if he has any left and just kill him. Get him out of here. A lot of these depth cards would start like falling apart. There's a lot less healing to deal with. Maybe you probably should have done that earlier too, because it's a Foot Lord. It's not like it's really got any protection besides the summons. Depth guard are all over the place. I think now is a perfect opportunity. And he's not super down on points, so yeah, that would really throw him back into this game. Although it's getting peppered shot. No! Dogs are going to intercept the charge from the Glade Riders, so they will be able to stop the shooting. Here come more Wild Riders. Man, Wild Riders are busted. And there's shielded ones, dude. Don't even need the mortars anymore. Ooh, the Mongol Haunter came in, trying to steal, hold this point. Very nice. Summoning more of those deckhand mobs, I want to say. Yep. Navi's just struggling right now, unfortunately. But yeah, I think it's just play the points. Maybe, I think it's a little too late now to kill the Lord. He has, and his Glade Lord is just not looking good. Navigator Lord. I would just go back in the woods. Try to play other sides, maybe. You could definitely do that with Wood Elves. And it's one of the biggest issues Vamp Coast has, as they're just super slow. Their fastest unit are Scurvy Dogs and Bats, and one of those units doesn't have capture weight, the other one is just easy to punish. And unfortunately, yeah, Navigator wasn't paying attention to his Lord, and it's probably going to get routed off there. No? Maybe? Mongol Haunter's trying. I do like the Mongol Haunter. Very underrated. Nice terror-causing piece there. Just throw it in the middle of a engagement with some Eternal Guard, yeah. Oh, here come the arrows, though. And the Dryades to try to save the Lord. Will it happen? Let's find out. Oh, it's a triple cap. Yeah, that might put it behind on Navigator. Yep, that's gonna be GG. Yeah, Navigator's just, oh man. Good job on Adler. Playing against a very strong player too.
Woeful tidings.
Unfortunately though, just a few things. I think it was just the map too. I don't know how else, without Waystalkers being able to hit with arrows of Keranos, those mortars were pretty much going to do whatever they wanted to. Unfortunately, though, for Adler, he kind of screwed that up.
One of your units has been
but he ended up pulling out in the end. GG's to both players. GG's. Death card were real nice here. Yeah, I would say it was mainly the map. That was a bigger issue. There were some choices here or there, some mistakes. Well, overall, I think it was okay. Maybe choose a different caster for Navigator. That's all I would say. And then, yeah, that's about it. Maybe come in with branch rates instead? Just Aeromax, which sounds lame, and it is. Because I'm sick of seeing Aeromax and playing it myself. But that's really the best thing Wood Elves kind of got going for them. You really have to, if you want to compete with Coast, you have to outnumber their guns and make sure you can shut off their artillery. Although, maybe you could also try rushing them. That's not a bad idea either. Wood Elves do have the capacity to do that. I don't know. I'm not a Wood Elf main. I dabble in them. Maybe some of you Wood Elf mains can give me tips and points on how to deal with it. Into any of these things. Alright, folks. We're at the end of the video here. If you liked it, please like, follow me here on YouTube. We're on the road to 2,000. Come join me when we have our tournaments or on our streams when we have them. Whether it's to show some love or play some games. That's all appreciated. Alright, with all that said, y'all have a good one. Peace and goodbye for now.